Hey guys, welcome back to the Sex Talk. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about a topic that comes up actually quite a bit, and it is about being with somebody who loves you, who's into you, but they're more into you than you are into them. And the reason I want to talk to you a little bit about this is because there's a phenomenon that we don't really talk about that much, because I think there's so much literature and information out there about people wanting the person that they can't have, this unrequited love. What we don't talk about is when we are into the person less than they are into us. And so what I call that is we love the way they love us. And I think that this actually occurs because of loneliness. Now, Damon and I did a video on loneliness a couple of months back, and we'll put the link for that video on this one. But we come sometimes from such a lonely, deprived space that we sometimes crave love and tenderness and recognition and admiration, and we'll take it no matter who it comes from. So I don't want to say that we're going to settle for like a sycophant or a fan that's kind of like, but a lot of times we do. We would potentially settle for somebody because of the way they love us. And what ends up happening is we find so many ways in which this person, why they're so wrong for us. We might say, we might nitpick, oh, well, this person does this or this person does this, but stay in the relationship because they fulfill that need. When we've been deprived for so long of a certain type of feeling, from love and tenderness, that what they bring to us feels really good. And so we take it, even though we might not align with who they are, we might not have the same common interests, they might be completely different than who we are, yet for some reason we stay in the relationship. And there are a lot of reasons we do that, and I want to address those today. One, of course, is loneliness, but what comes out of loneliness are negative stories. We hear a lot of negative stories in our society and our culture about needing to be in a couple, needing to be in a family. And there's a lot of shaming when you're single. There's a lot of shaming if you're not. When are you guys going to have kids? When are you going to settle down? All of these ideas that we need to settle down. And the flip side of that is yes, while we might enjoy a very happy, free, fun, and single lifestyle, there are those times where we do feel lonely as single people. Holidays, for example, everybody's coupled up, everybody's spending time with family, and yes, you may have lots of family that you can go spend time with, but that inadvertently brings up the questions like, when are you going to settle down, and all of those types of things. So society also, on top of sometimes feeling lonely, which is a human and universal experience, will perpetuate these negative stories around the need to have a family, to settle down, to be in a couple. And I think what ends up happening is sometimes when somebody treats us really good, we end up going in that direction, going and being with that person, because it does feel really good. It feels really good for a while until you realize that there are all these things that this person is not, because they're not somebody that you met and truly connected with. They're not somebody that you were like, oh, I really like this person, I'm gonna try to see what happens. They're somebody that sort of fell into your lap. And a lot of times that can be great. Don't get me wrong. A lot of times you can build great relationships based on that. But I think there needs to be some things in place, one main thing that comes up a lot is, do you have the same goals in life, and do you have common interests? If you do, then you can make so many things work. But if you don't, if you come from completely different backgrounds, if you come from, and when I say completely different backgrounds, I don't mean culturally, I mean like mindset around like friends and money and, you know, relationships. And a lot of people, like someone might be a super positive thinker and really focused on work, and this partner is just focuses on partying, but, you know, really loves them and whatnot. And is that somebody that you really want to be with? So I think what I'm really wanted to just do a really short, quick video about is this flip side of this unrequited love that often leads to settling for the wrong person, or settling for someone because we love the way they love us. And we've been so deprived of love for so long that we sort of jump at it. And one of the ways to overcome this is, number one, we've got to quiet the negative stories that society is feeding us about needing to be in a couple, needing to be in a family, needing all of these, you know, things, and recognize that loneliness is a universal condition, and we can be lonely and still be happy. We can experience loneliness and still be happy single. And so getting rid of the negative stories is number one. And number two, learning how to nourish ourselves. You know, yes, some people are extroverts. I get it. You know, we feed. I'm kind of like an ambivert, but anyway, we feed on being around other people. I feed on being around other people a lot, but there are days too where I'm like, I just want to spend like 3 or 4 days alone. And that's totally different than feeling lonely. Loneliness is when you want to be around other people and there's no one to be around. But again, I want to point out that we all experience that feeling. So knowing that it's a universal feeling can be helpful too. And knowing ways to nurture yourself and to find ways to plan and schedule so that you can, one, have the alone time that you need, and have the, you know, social time, connection time that you need as well. The other thing is similar to a video that Jamila and I did recently, is you can have intimate relationships with friends that isn't sexual. So there's various types of relationships that we can have that don't fit the norm and don't have to be like specific couple. And I think a lot of times if we look outside of the box and inspire to, you know, not hold ourselves to these rigid rules of what a relationship looks like, we might feel a little bit more flow and flexibility in the lifestyles that we choose. So that's it for today. I'll see you soon on the Sex Talk. Take care. Bye.